Hello my brothers and sisters of the Order, I am Templar and welcome back to another blade review on a 3rd century Roman Spatha. Now in truth, I wanted to buy this Roman Spatha because, now, I hear many of you already, Templar, didn't you have another Roman Spatha? Yes, but the thing is, I bought this one for not a late Roman army, but actually for Vendel period and Viking type warfare. Now many of you might start saying, Templar, why would you do this? Well, kind of obvious. This thing actually looks like a Viking sword. In truth, this is actually a really cool one because this actually has a Viking style hand grip design. And of which this is actually really cool. If none of y'all don't understand history, the Romans actually, if none of y'all actually believe this, it's actually really cool because it's actually stated that the Romans might have influenced the Viking sword because of their later, or their late style hand grips like this. In fact, take a look at this. This thing has a type of wooden grip that matches of early Viking swords like this, actually having like that design symbol. Now, this is actually the 3rd century Roman Podlodow. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this anyway. It's called the Podlodow, which is based off of a city in Poland. In fact, this is where this type of model design was actually discovered, and that's actually really cool. Now, in truth, this has actually been nicknamed the Frontiersmen Spatha by many archaeologists because they actually discovered these along the frontiers of the Roman Empire, meaning they're actually farther out. They're actually beyond the border of the Roman Empire. So in other words, this might have actually been copied by the said barbarian cultures. The cultures of the barbarian cultures, like say the Norse or Vendel period sagas, actually might have copied from the Romans and invented it just like this. Now, this type of Roman Spatha is actually made from replica, and actually replica gets this one really good, which A+ replica with y'all because y'all got it real good, especially with the hand grip, because look at that. That fits right in the hand. Incredibly locks into place, just like my other Roman Spatha. Now, I'll do a comparison between the two very soon. Now, its overall length is 35 and 3/16 of an inch, while its blade is around 18 and 15/16 of an inch. Now, it's made from 45 high carbon steel, and as well, it's actually has a weight around 2 pounds and 6.7 ounces. Its point of balance is around 6.5 inches, so around about, say, like right about here, I want to say. I'm trying to get the point of balance in. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, that's actually really cool because this actually has a good design point of balance. Now, its thickness is about 4.5 to 4.3 millimeters. Its width is 49.3 millimeters. Grip length is 3 7/8 of an inch, which that's really cool. Now it has a nut pommel, meaning it's a screw-on, which I really don't like. So yeah, that's a big problem there, which I'm kind of have to be a little careful about this. Now, actually, unlike other swords I see from the replica, here's the thing. When I take a look at normal swords, here's the thing. They only got like either a fuller or no fuller. This one has 2 fullers. Literally, there are 2 fullers right here, which if none of y'all know what a fuller is used for, this is actually used to actually make the blade lighter, but also make it stronger. Now, there's this idiotic myth that, which a lot of idiots actually believe this, that these are actually blood grooves are meant to be used to get the blood off of that it just drains from the blade, which that's a myth. Which, I don't know what idiot came up with that. I think it's just a bunch of fantasy nonsense. But yeah, anyways. Which in truth, actually, Vikings were actually stated to have copied from the Romans and manufactured them just like this. So we could see why and how, because In truth, the Norse, for example, like the Vendel period sagas, the Saxons, the Jutes, the Angles, the Danes, or including the Swedes and such, they would have actually seen this sword a lot more than the other Roman Spathas, like this one, because in truth, this, as I stated, is a frontiersman style. Now, in truth, actually, that's actually really cool. Now, I like the fact that this thing actually has a really cool design handguard right down here, because it has an oval shape to it, which that actually feels like it's not Roman, but actually Scandinavian. In fact, this is a fully wooden style hand grip all the way around, has wooden handle, and as well has these brass design circles around the said handle grip, and which actually help my hand lock in place. Because look at this. You can see the brass right here all over that. And literally when I put my hand around it, it just feels like it's locking into place. Especially if I take a good cutting blow or a thrust. This feels awesome in the hand. In fact, this feels like the type of swords you would normally hear from the sagas of Beowulf. Now, its scabbard actually comes really cool, because it comes in red. It doesn't come in any colors, I checked. Now, in truth, it actually even has a decorative belt loop design on there, which is really cool, which I do like, and it even has the sword cap, or the butt cap of the sword. Now, it even has the black tethering around a scabbard, which is really cool. Now you understand, this would have actually been really useful to hold the sword in place, or hold the scabbard together, especially back then. And as well, they got that ancient Germanic type flair. In fact, this feels like a Germanic style sword. This does not feel like a Roman sword. This feels like a Germanic, Scandinavian, Vendel saga sword. I really do like this. So I probably will be using it for, say, Vendel period armor up, or including Viking armor up, because, well, take a look at this. These are some Viking swords that look just nearly like this. This is a Roman Spatha. This is a Viking sword. Looks very similar, doesn't it? Now, let me actually show y'all the difference between my one Roman Spatha and this one. As you can see, the blade width is slightly bigger on this one. Slightly wider, I should say. And as well, the blade length is longer, slightly. And as well, it has more of a rounded tip. Now, why the rounded tip? Well, kind of obvious. This is more of the cutting design type of sword. This is not the traditional stabbing model like this one. In fact, this one doesn't have any fuller. However, it feels slightly lighter in the hand than this, but yeah. So, which one would I rather use on the battlefield for fighting, you might ask? Well, for the late style Roman, I would still probably use this, because this feels right in the hand somehow, but for awesome decoration, this I would rather use. Now, I will leave links down below for y'all if any of y'all want to buy this. Now, I've actually promised one of my viewers, because I told him I will be doing a review on a type of item that was actually used by the said sagas of Beowulf, and including also by the Viking period, because he was, in fact, he actually put a couple of comments down into that, and he was actually surprised I actually beat him to the poll, because he was going to ask me to do some Viking videos. Well, in truth, dude, you said I beat you to it, so you're kind of right there. Now, in truth, though, dude, if you want to buy this, be my guest, because this feels like a Viking sword to me, and if it will feel like a Viking sword to you, well, you can see my point, because this does feel more like a Viking sword. In fact, it wraps around the hand like a Viking sword. It feels, looks, I mean, there's no way I can actually explain this to y'all, because this is just awesome. The way it feels, I just feel like a Viking going on a raid. Because in truth, this does look just like a Viking sword. Now, many of you might ask, Templar, does a double fuller make it lighter and stronger? It actually, surprisingly, it might, actually, because there are some stories in some Norse sagas actually stating of some swords that actually had a magical power of not breaking, especially if it went through the shield and it got stuck In fact, it's actually stated in this early Norse saga, the sword was so stuck, the warrior tried to bend it or break the sword. But the thing is, it never did. It just kept actually moving with the motion, until the warrior pulled his sword from the shield and struck him dead. That is awesome. So, yeah, this makes it stronger and lighter than normal swords. Now, Topeka, you did a very good job. This is an A+ down the line. I love the scabbard with it. In fact, I just feel as though this is actually just as perfect as from the Lord of the Rings sagas or the Lord of the Ring J.R.R. Tolkien. In fact, J.R.R. Tolkien actually was inspired by the Beowulf sagas, and in the process invented many parts, including the swords that actually were later on put into the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit film, of which I do love the Rohan Sword that was actually unsheathed by Theoden, which, yes, I am a big Lord of the Rings fan, or big Lord of the Rings nerd, I guess you could say. But yeah, I do love this because this is really cool. In fact, this is an automatic type sword. In fact, these were nicknamed migration swords by the very fall of the Roman Empire, and of which we could see why. In fact, those that would actually be barbarian warriors that were fighting for the Roman Empire, who were actually the late Roman Empire itself, who actually used these type of swords. In fact, it's actually been stated by many Roman accounts that you could actually tell the difference between a Roman auxiliary and a Roman soldier in the late Empire, just by looking at the sword. In fact, a Roman legionnaire in the army would actually use this probably, while the Roman auxiliary would have used this, meaning the Roman foreigner or the Roman mercenary soldier would have used this, while the Roman citizen would have used this. Which I could see why. Now, in truth, many of you might wonder, Templar, which would you rather go to Valhalla with then? Oh man, that's actually a really big question. Because in truth, I'm actually very torn between these two swords. Because yes, I love both of them. I really do. Now, this one I love because of its length and its design, but this I love also because of its design and its length also. Because look at this. This is really cool because this has this beautiful designs to it. Now, in truth, actually, I do plan on getting some other items that make this a little more sword look more Vikingish. So yeah, I'm still planning on doing a Viking armor up. So, and very soon I will be getting another item based with some Viking history to it. Now, many of you might wonder, Templar, what is it? Tell us now. No, I'm not revealing it. I promise y'all, I like to keep y'all waiting. I'm sorry, it's just me, okay? But don't worry, y'all. I still have a couple more items here, that of which I hope will keep you entertained until the item is arrived, because I was told that it has been shipped by now. So, yeah. Anyways, buy either one of these swords if you all want, because in truth, I love both of them incredibly well. But this one, if y'all want to do Viking reenactments, this would be perfect. Now, in truth, I bought this from Cult of Athena. It was actually a very good price, actually, around it, actually. But this is actually really cool. Now, in truth, I think I could also find this on CelticMerchant.com for many of y'all who are looking for something like this, especially if y'all live overseas and such. But don't worry, Cult of Athena can sell it to pretty much anywhere around the world, also if y'all can't find it anywhere else. Anyways, guys. Like and subscribe, click that bell button for notifications, and please, guys, check out some more things on Facebook. That way y'all can actually understand what's going to come up next. Because in truth, that will get y'all knowing what next video is going to come up. Now, if y'all want me to talk about any item in history, let me know down in the comments below. If y'all want me to talk about any era in history, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to do it. And as well, guys, hopefully to see y'all in the next one. And as well, have a great day.